All right, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we're gonna get together right now. What did it say? Say a prayer for me. There we go. Welcome to the party. It's your boy Mountain. We're back again for another day. We're going Path of Exile 3.28 Mirage. This is what we're going for. We're going to go ahead and see what we got here. And we're going to go over the live stream. I missed the live stream yesterday. Sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. So I think it's next Friday. They got the release. So Harfing, how you doing? Well, we cooking a live stream today. We're gonna go ahead and go through the live stream, see exactly what we got going on, see exactly how that's gonna be. I was messaged multiple times yesterday from people saying, "Hey, you gotta look at the live stream. So I could try to see what's coming up on the Path of Exile 3.28 release." One of the things that my boy Gankestein is happy about, he was like, you gotta pay attention to this, and then I had other people saying I gotta pay attention to some other stuff. So I have not, at this time, I have not looked at the live stream. I know nothing about the live stream. Oh, hold up a second. I gotta do an announcement because I had the wrong message. At everyone. Nope. It is PoE live stream review. There you go. So, but that's what we got cooking. Have you looked at the live stream? See what? Do you know what's coming? That's what I really need to ask. Do you know what's coming? Because I don't know what's coming. I just kind of want to run through and kind of see what they got. All right, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and hit this live stream.
Wingstop lemon pepper all flats?
Lemon pepper all flats.
Lemon pepper wings.
Tastes so good.
Wingstop lemon pepper all flats for Lake?
Seriously?
Wingstop's here.
You guys, Wendy's has new Biggie deals starting at just $4. So now you can decide how biggie you want to go, which is kind of beautiful. I'm not condensating, you're condensating. More Biggie options so you can get more of what you really want at Wendy's.
Can we skip this? Oh, this looks like it's gonna just play live. They gotta have this on YouTube, right? I thought they always put that on YouTube so you can content review. That'd be.
Hi.
There we go. There we go. I'm sitting there like, what the heck is going on? I can't get it to come in with what I want. That's okay. What we got? We're gonna do. Hold up. Before we do you think the content review is gonna go over the? Yeah, it's gonna have the trailer and everything in it. So hey, we're going. There we go. Content reveal. Let's start there. That's where we're gonna start. Everybody, we're starting on the content reveal. Gonna see exactly how the content reveal goes, and then we'll go from there. All right, everybody, we ready? All right, let's go.
I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games. Welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile Mirage, which is coming out 1 week from now on March 6th. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Mirage weapon effect by following the instructions below. Now first things first, let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile Mirage.
The Jinn. They were bound to serve, but not to suffer. The Afarod assault our lands, trapping my Jinn in an astral plane. Break their chains, rescue them, and you will be granted a wish.
Hold up. That looks good. That looks good. You can, oh, that's good.
An ancient evil yearns for his freedom. We must keep him in the dark.
Hold up. Let's go back. Let's look at this again. That sounds interesting. Supported by level 1 cold penetration. Supported by level 1 increased area of effect. Oh, okay. New holy skills. Keepers went to core. Uh-oh. What does that mean? I have no clue.
In today's stream, we'll take you on a deep dive into Path of Exile Mirage, where you'll unravel ancient mysteries, unlock new powerful rewards, and become part of the eons-old story of the Winter Sekima. There are also significant in-game changes coming alongside Mirage, including a progression of the in-game storyline, a new in-game Atlas system, and as always, new rewards to match. After that, we want to talk about the slew of new Holy Templar skills and supports, as well as an additional Ascendancy class option added to the Scion, which some of you may find familiar.
Forget
We'll
that.
cover our new supporter packs, and then lastly, have a live Q&A session where Ziggy D
Look,
as Path of Exile
let's just be honest.
as well as game designer Octavian. your
All
questions
we
and
care
feedback.
about
After the live stream, we'll drop the full patch notes
is
at 11
Templar
a.m.
stuff.
NZT or 2 p.m. PST.
Templar.
So let's get started. I'll hand things over to Mark to introduce the new league.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. In Path of Exile Mirage, you'll be taking on the Afarud, a sect of desert-dwelling necromancers who have lingered in the shadows for...
Now, I would like to point out that when they do these intros, they look stiff as heck. But I want to point out. I know it's because they have to read the teleprompter and they're trying to get the information out that they're trying to get out. but they look stiff. Welcome to this is so and so and blah blah blah. That's how they look. But as soon as they get to the Q&A and everything like that, they loosen up a little bit and they start talking, and they're not so stiff. But I want y'all to know, it is very hard. It's very hard to be on screen. It's very hard to be on screen, reading some from on screen and look natural. Unless you're like somebody who does it on a regular basis, and or somebody who's just like always natural. These guys, boy, they look all stiff.
For centuries. They are outcasts of outcasts, with no home or promised land. Instead, they seek their sovereignty through darker means. The Ufarood have captured the souls of Jinn throughout Rayclast. They are killing them, sapping their energies for purposes unknown. You must fight your way past the Ufarood's necromantic creations to find the captive Jinn. Here, Varashta, an ancient Mariketh sorceress, has been doing what she can to protect the Jinn, but she needs your help to free them. After successfully defeating them, you will then be asked by Varashta to enter the Astral Realm and break the tether trapping the Jinn there. This gate to the Astral Realm is a mirage, an imperfect copy of the area around the captured Jinn. Now, when we say an imperfect copy, we mean that quite literally. Hold tight, because this leak mechanic has some serious implications for juicing areas. We'll get to that in a moment. Varashta can augment the magic of the mirage further, as she allows you to enter, giving you the option to choose one of 3 wishes before you do so.
What is your desire?
These wishes are modifiers that will apply to the mirage area and have some pretty potent outcomes. There are wishes that grant extra rewards, such as the wish for glyphs, which causes all portal and wisdom scrolls in the mirage to instead drop as other currencies. Or wishes that will spawn rewarding enemies, such as the wish for avarice, which replaces a number of packs in the area with gilded enemies that convert their equipment drops to gold. And wishes that can grant you extreme power while
Wish
inside the mirage,
for souls.
such as the wish for souls,
That is the
or
bomb.
the wish for godhood, which allow you to consume the souls of your enemies, or make you completely unkillable.
Completely unkillable looks good too.
Each wish is also marked with the sigil of one of 3 powerful Jinn: the Sand Jinn, Fire Jinn, or Water Jinn. Depending on the sigil chosen, monsters within the affected mirage will have a small chance to drop one of 3 new coin currencies: a coin of knowledge, coin of power, or coin of skill. Each of these coins can be used on a max leveled skill gem, corrupting it and augmenting it with a random support that matches the color of the coin used.
Okay.
Only one skill that is imbued this way can be socketed into a given equipment item at a time, meaning you cannot have 2 imbued skill gems in your body armor, as an example.
Choose what you
Okay.
That's one of the rewards, but let's get back to the area-to-area mechanic. Once you've made your choice of wish, enter the mirage and fight your way through the monsters and astral hazards to find the tether holding the Jinn. Shatter this chain to free the Jinn, step by step weakening whatever dark plans the Ufarood may have for Rayclast. Wishes are not the only value a mirage has to offer to an enterprising exile. As we mentioned earlier,
Thank
mirages
you.
are an imperfect copy of the area
Survivor, what's up?
And it will copy almost anything.
Yes, it's a new PoE 1 league. Thank you for the subscription, Survivor. It is a new PoE league. It's 3.1, 3.2.8. 3.2. Nope, not 3.2.8. 3.28. There you go. There you go. That's the one. I said .8. I don't understand why I said that. But it, from what it looks like it's got some pretty cool information. I kind of think that I'm gonna enjoy playing this one because they did something to Templar. they talked about holy skills. Oh, it gets better? Okay. Because I'm hyped right now because I saw them say Templar, new powers, holy. I was like, oh, I gotta get this. I gotta play this.
Free the Jinn. Step by step, weakening whatever dark plans the Ufferood may have for Rayclast. Wishes are not the only value a Mirage has to offer to an enterprising exile. As we mentioned earlier, Mirages are an imperfect copy of the area the Jinn occupies in Rayclast, and it will copy almost anything, as long as it's within the domain of the Jinn. Mirages created from an endgame map, for instance, will have all Scarab, Atlas, and map modifiers the area had.
Nice.
Mirages created next to a strongbox will have a new strongbox ready for you to open. Blights can be defended again.
Oh, that's interesting. You could double blight.
Legions fought once more, and so
Double
on.
blight, double legions.
Effectively, you get a portion of your map to play a second time, and everything you did to enhance the content of that map applies in the Mirage too. These recreated copies of League mechanics, however, have been warped into reality by the power of the Mirage. And this has some side effects. For one, a recreation may not be perfect. The factions of a Legion may differ from the one the Mirage copied. Or, the variety of strongboxes may change. More importantly, the mechanic may be empowered, with new threats and rewards that are customized to each mechanic and are only available when doing that mechanic in the Mirage.
Nice.
For example, ultimatums recreated in Mirages will have new threatening modifiers added to the usual pool. Restless Ground can raise slain enemies to fight again, or Quicksand will grasp at your ankles. As a reward for these new threats, Mirage ultimatums can provide the new Sinistral or Dextral catalysts. These catalyze jewelry with increased effect of either prefix or suffix modifiers. As you can imagine, there's a lot of potential here.
Prefix or suffix increases?
Is that Kalgurin ore recreated in the Mirage has a chance to be replaced by a Thaumaturgic Hourglass, a powerful magical device that your Kalgurin friends can mine in order to obtain vast quantities of Thaumaturgic dust. Blight encounters recreated in Mirages have one of their lanes replaced by Ufferood enemies, infested with Blight. This lane can reward a new base type, the Cord Belt. The implicit of this belt allows it to be anointed, causing it to grant a peasantry notable of your choosing.
You got boots, you got a chest piece, and you got belts that can be anointed, and then we got necklaces. The new Blight base seems nuts. Dude, not nuts, crazy. That's crazy.
As a quick note, Imprisoned Jinn will generally be near the content they can empower in the Mirages, so you don't need to worry too much about getting lucky with where your content generates in an area. As the campaign doesn't generally contain too much additional League content for the Mirages to empower.
This belt for most builds before T0s.
We've gone and added a whole bunch that will force spawn near the Jinn, so your campaign experience will double down on being more action-packed and rewarding. Now, of course, if you're traveling through Mirages, encountering new enemies, and slaying them, you can expect to find
League mechanics getting vacuumed into the Mirage range is kind of pog. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That is crazy. That is pure crazy. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Let's just call that out. Let's go.
Uniques. The Ufferood are not only torturers, but thieves. and have over the centuries stolen away priceless Mariketh artifacts. Using their powers of rot and disease, they have twisted these items to suit their own purposes. Flesh Render is one such artifact, an ancient and exquisite Mariketh.
Okay, Flesh Render. Hold for a second. Let me look at this. 229% increased physical damage, 35% to damage over time modifiers, 33% increased critical strike chance. Cannot poison enemies with at least 12 poisons on them. Inflict 3 additional poisons on the same target. When you inflict poisons with this weapon, wither on hit with this weapon against enemies with at least... Oh! Be still, my heart. I gotta see what this looks like. I gotta see what this looks like. Okay, the reason why I'm so, one of my favorite Templar builds is Chains of Command. And normally with Chains of Command, you do you do certain ones. This, if you decide to do Chains of Command, try to do poison, this might actually be really good. Because you can stack your poisons really quickly. You'd be stacking your poisons really quickly. Because it's three additional poisons, inflict 3 additional poisons on the same target. So we're talking about, with those weapons, they're doing 4 attacks a second. So you stack to 12 like instantly. Now, one problem with this is you won't be able to get more stacks. Yeah, that's the problem. Is you will not be able to get more stacks. So it will stack up to 12, and then you'll have Wither to you'll run Wither to 15 like that. And so there it might cap you out. Well, you get poison cap anyway a lot, okay? But this actually might be an interesting situation on Chains of Command. With somebody with fast poisons, that would definitely 1 second poisons from a player. Well, 1 second poisons from a player, or some very short poisons from a doggone from Chains of Command would actually work too. Cool. Bring them on in, Empress.
Blade
right.
that has been tarnished and befouled. Its rusted and jagged edge is perfect for poisoning and withering your enemies. However, Varashta has in her command the power to restore these once lost Mariketh treasures to their former glory. Acquiring a coin of restoration by slaying monsters and mirages allows any unique obtained from the Afarud to be transformed into its Mariketh counterpart, its glorious original form.
Now, what does that give me?
Flesh Render, for example, transforms into Sky Sunder.
Hold up, Sky Sunder. Let's look at this. It lost 100% of physical damage converted to fire. Ignites you cause are reflected back to you. 50% less duration on ignites you inflict. Ignites you inflict with this weapon spread to other enemies within 2.8. Unaffected by ignite. Not that big for me.
Blade that radiates with the glowing heat of the desert sun. When you ignite monsters, Sky Sunder reflects that ignite back to you, which proliferates to nearby enemies in a massive area. If you meddle with the affairs of the Afarud for too long, though, you may draw the ire of the Mirage League's new in-game boss, Suresh of the Weeping Black. Suresh also has a set of powerful, exclusive items. Yours for the taking, if you're able to defeat him.
You have Diamond Shrine buff while affected by no flasks. You have Resistance Shrine buff while affected by no flasks. Hey, that actually is pretty nice. That's actually pretty nice.
So that's the Mirage League. Now, to face all the new evils, you might want some righteous skills. Some holy skills. In 320...
Yeah, one defensive, one offensive shrine. That with those particular ones, that was actually pretty good. But with those, I'm just gonna be honest. You would have to, instead of doing flask when it flask every time it turns up, what you would do is you would have to do flask after taking so many hits, like a savage hit or something like that. Initiate flask. But that there are problems with that. It could rule different shrines, which is a good thing. But there are some things that you could do with it also that could come into play. Yeah, you would go no flask, or that's a good way. Is go no flask and do mostly health potions and mana potions. Yep, there you go. And just run it that way. But there are things I can see potential. That's what I see potential in that particular configuration. All right, let's go next.
You'll have access to a slew of new options to bring divine devastation and return the faithless to their rightful graves. We're also introducing some supports to go with them, as well as some new transfigured gems. Let's go over a few examples. With Holy Hammers, you slam the ground to call down a hammer of justice from the sky. If this hits an enemy, an additional Holy Hammer will cascade forwards, which itself can further cascade, and so forth. Expending a power charge when using the skill will call down an additional 2 hammers, which can also cause cascading slams. The more numerous your foes, the more instruments of holy judgment.
That could be interesting.
Sweep is an old skill. In fact, it is so old that it's one of the very first skills ever implemented in Path of Exile, over 15 years ago. It's been long overdue for some attention. With 328, it has been reworked into Holy Sweep. This skill converts some of your physical damage to lightning, with shiny new effects to match. Some enemies struck by the initial sweep will have hammers of light batter them from above. These hammers cause area damage where they land, so clustered enemies are demolished by repeated impacts. When successfully hitting an enemy with Holy Strike, you'll summon forth a floating holy armament, a glowing mace that follows you closely. These weapons are minions, and will attack with Holy Strike themselves whenever you do. These holy armaments will copy the stats of your main hand weapon to deal their damage. Stand against your foes with Shield of Light, a retaliation skill which will allow you to unleash a cone of holy light upon enemies after blocking a hit with your shield. Additional cones of light will also pour forth from your nearby allies when you hit with the skill, allowing you to recruit your holy army to create purging light. Divine Blast emits a beam of holy light from your shield, coalescing into a hovering ball of energy. A few moments later, this unstable orb bursts, exploding outward with divine power. Hallow supports melee attacks, causing them to inflict a new debuff, Hallowing Flame. Hallowing Flame builds up as charges on enemies, getting consumed when attacked. Consuming a stack of Hallowing Flame gives the attack that consumed it a significant amount of extra fire damage, but only those who did not inflict the Hallowing Flame are able to consume it. Perfect for those of you who enjoy a more supportive playstyle with your army of Holy Sentinels. Or friends.
Okay.
When they're online. We've also added sources of this debuff to a number of other places.
Hold
such
up.
As you
Replica gift from the above. Oh, that's nice. And the Supreme Truth Crystal Scepter. Okay.
unique items.
Those are they
jewels.
gotta know these things. Cluster jewels, yeah.
And the Guardian Ascendancy class.
Guardian Ascendancy class. You know my Guardian. You know I had to get Guardian anyway. But this inflict Holy Flame on melee hit. You can inflict +1 holy haloing flame on enemies. Gain 10% of physical damage as extra lightning damage for each of the holy flames that have removed by an allied hit recently, up to 80%. Hold up. So you inflict holy flame on melee hits. So you gotta have one of those melee powers. You gotta use one of those melee powers. I kinda have an idea. It's a terrible idea, but I got an idea. Okay, let's keep going.
We also have another batch of new transfigured gems, with many of these being variants for gems which previously had none. One example is the Shockwave Totem of Authority, which casts its higher damage dealing Nova at your location instead of its own. You might also enjoy Orb of Storms of Squalls. These storms warp directly to targets when you use lightning skills, and arc lightning upon doing so. This gives you a mobile storm of destruction that follows you as you dive into battle. We'll leave the rest of
Lightning Warp and Orb of Storms of Squall.
The transfigured skills for you to comb through in the patch notes. Speaking of the patch notes, as always, we love to shake up the meta. So we've done a bunch of balance adjustments to a few other things as well, such as a pass on Bloodline classes, expanded the passives available to the Templar section of the passive tree, and various improvements to existing holy themed skills such as Static Strike, Holy Flame Totem, and Dominating Blow.
Oh, they did Dominating Blow. They modified Dominating Blow.
Improvement to some of the least played Ascendancy classes. This time with a focus on Guardian and Warden. Speaking of Ascendancies, let's talk about the Scion and her new Reliquarian Ascendancy class. For those that have played the Legacy of Frisia events, this class will seem familiar. The Reliquarian is a learned Scion that has studied history at the Oriath Academy. She is a part of a secret society of Oriathans, dedicated to collecting and discerning the strange properties of unique items. All of her passive powers come from these unique items, found from throughout Rayclast. After ascending, first select the power of a unique armor. Victario's influence increases the level of all your auras and gives them a much larger area of effect. Or instead, take Kilowava's Bluster, giving you a chance to have extreme elemental resistance against incoming hits. Next, pick from a unique weapon power. Widow Hail greatly increases the bonuses gained from your quiver. Or Martyr's Teaching, which causes your minions' critical strike chance with attacks to be equal to.
They already got rid of the Widow Hail? Why did they get rid of the Widow Hail? Hell no. Oh, never mind. I just realized that there's that one quiver that like doubles or something like that. Yeah, because there's that quiver that like doubles the stats on it, or triples or quadruples the stats on it, or whatever. Then you put that on it, then it'll be like way overpowered.
Your main hand weapons. Lastly, pick your crown jewel, a unique jewelry power. Astral Projector causes Nova spells to cast from enemies rather than from yourself. Or take Astramentus, simply giving you a huge boost to all your attributes. Due to all the ways you can mix and match unique powers, the Reliquarian has more flexibility in how you build it compared to any other Ascendancy class in the game. Our plan going forward is for the Reliquarian to not be a static Ascendancy class, and between each expansion, the unique powers which are offered will change. If you don't like what she offers this expansion, hopefully she'll have the power of your favorite unique item in the next one. Time to move on to the endgame. With this expansion, we are aiming to liven up the endgame, giving players new experiences, strategies to leverage, and streamlining or removing the more frustrating tasks. Extensive changes will be coming to the Atlas and how you engage with maps, without interfering with the beloved core experience that has made mapping so successful. In the last few endgame updates, you experienced Zana's story, how she helped defeat the Elder, tried to stop exiles from going mad in the Atlas, and faced new threats pouring forth from it. In the most recent expansion, she eventually realized that there was only one way forward: to destroy the Atlas. Zana's recent actions have now weakened the already strained and tattered edges of its realities, reshaping how we interact with the Atlas entirely. To explain how this changes your interactions with the Atlas, we first want to establish some context while having a bit of a trip down memory lane. 27 expansions ago, back in Path of Exile 3.1.0, The War for the Atlas, we had a mechanic on the Atlas where the Shaper and Elder were engaged in war.
Yep, I remember that.
Manifested as influence regions on the Atlas that affected specific maps. The ever-changing influence regions made the Atlas feel more like a physically connected space, rather than just a fancy way of visualizing a checklist of completed maps. However, one of the main frustrations with this mechanic was that you constantly needed many different specific maps in order to manipulate the influenced regions. We realized we'd love to again have mechanics that manifest physically on your Atlas, but we'd have to address the issue of always needing those specific maps. The first major change we'll be making to solve this is divorcing map items from specific areas. As an example, instead of having a Mesa map, you will now find, say, a Tier 10 map. To open a Mesa map now, just locate and select Mesa on your Atlas, put in your map item, click activate, and you're good to go. That Mesa may drop a Tier 11 map. You can then immediately return to your map device, which will default to the last map run, and then run it again. Or choose a new map to use it on. It's your choice. This is one of the many benefits to this change. Hold up. If you're the type of player who enjoys chaining the same map over and over, or the type of player who prefers to jump around, it is equally easy to do either strategy or even switch between them at a moment's notice. For example, if one day you're farming burial chambers, hoping to eventually get a headhunter from divination cards, and you decide you need a change of rhythm, you can seamlessly swap to your boss farming Atlas tree and spam Mesa for peak boss killing efficiency. Up until now, this would have required having some Mesa maps stashed, setting all your favored maps to Mesa, or doing a whole bunch of trading. You'll also notice that the structure of the Atlas has changed. If you haven't played in a while, here's a look at it before and after.
Okay.
You will now begin at the center of the Atlas, with each corner housing one of 4 Voidstone slots.
Okay, so I got questions. Oh, okay, let's just play through it, and then we hit those questions, because there's a bunch. There's a bunch of questions. I see some things.
All content accessed from your map device now exists physically on the Atlas, so you can see everything available in the endgame as you reveal the Fog of War. This also means that all unique maps are now present on the Atlas, including some old favorites that are appearing for the first time. Don't worry though, you don't need to complete Hall of Grandmasters every league.
Alright, hold up. It still has to drop. That's not what they're saying. They're saying it doesn't have to drop. Well, well, you talking about the uniques have to drop? Okay, yeah, the uniques have to drop. I can see that. I thought you were talking about the regular maps. Keep watching. Oh, okay, hold up.
You now gain 1 Atlas skill point per unique map completed, up to a maximum of 10. Given there are around 20 unique maps, you only need to complete the half you want, if you can get your hands on them. Note, you aren't losing any Atlas skill points. These have been moved to new places, and actually, you can get more than before. Due to Zana's actions, Egan now has a new goal and is determined to stop Zana's destruction by making use of a mysterious new discovery, arcane astrolabes. Zana is currently traversing the threads that weave the Atlas together, severing them. With these new astrolabes, Egan is able to trace her movement, but using them causes dangerous side effects. When you use an astrolabe on a map on the Atlas, a shaped region will manifest itself in that quadrant, affecting...
Yes, unique maps are different than normal maps and auto mod. Yeah.
many of the maps within it. There are many different kinds of astrolabes, and they apply different types of shaped regions.
And
For
you continue to expand,
an
though.
abyssal region, which causes all the maps to have an additional abyss. Or a blighted region, which adds a blight encounter.
So y'all see how it made it kind of over the area, right? So my question is, you have to finish all 5 of the T17s. Hold up, I didn't see that. What do you mean? Hold up, let's just...
Completing the content added by the astrolabe will remove the shaped region's influence from that map. Upon doing so, every other map remaining in the shaped region will gain an additional modifier. This means as you progress through the shaped region, maps you run will become more and more intense, with the relevant mechanic getting more and more juiced.
And you stack,
Finally,
though.
at the end of the region of maps, once you have successfully rid the Atlas of the shaped region, Egan will take you to one of 4 memory vaults, where there are powerful rewards to be had. He cares only for the knowledge hidden within that vault, so any items are yours for the taking. Each vault is associated with a specific quadrant on the Atlas, so you're able to target a certain vault if you're wanting to try get a specific type of reward.
Okay.
One such vault is the Archon's Vault, where you'll be rewarded with powerful unique items. Or the Zealot's Vault, to acquire valuable currency items. This new shaped region system is one that promotes running many different maps. But for players that want to engage with this new system while still wanting to run the same map over and over again, the synthesized stability keystone on the Atlas tree enables exactly that. With all the new endgame changes, we thought it would be also good to mention some handy tips and tricks for quickly navigating the new Atlas. When using the map device, the Atlas defaults to your previously run map, so running the same map over and over is as few clicks as possible. You can right-click unique maps or map fragments in your inventory to automatically open your Atlas to that location with the map already placed and ready to run. When you select a special area, that shaped region system is
by default, when you complete an objective in a map within a shaped region, it collapses, removing itself from the region. This causes all other maps in the region to gain additional modifiers. In cases where the shaped region would become bisected, only the region with the most connected maps will remain. So what they're saying is you could do the same map over and over again, and the regions it collapses to the one you're on, right? That's what they mean by that, right? In case I don't know, Okay, now let me get back over here to what they were talking about.
navigating the new Atlas. When using the map device, the Atlas defaults to your previously run map, so running the same map.
So cutting it in half will delete the smaller section. True, but it should collapse it, right? That's what they to the next closest. Right? That's what it sounded like. I have to look. I'll read it again, but
over and over is as few clicks as possible. You can right-click unique maps or map fragments in your inventory to automatically open your atlas to that location with the map already placed and ready to run. When you select a special area that requires multiple items, such as to fight at Zeri or open the Domain of Timeless Conflict, if you have the fragments to access that in your inventory, it will automatically add them to the map device in the right spot. That's the core of the new endgame, but there's a lot more endgame changes coming in 3.28. Let's blast through them. Over the last few expansions, we've been working on streamlining the mapping experience, and we wanted to continue to minimize busy.
okay, good. I mean, so if you cut a shaped region in half, only one side will remain. The keystone cleanses a random map and can cause a cut, reducing the amount of shaped maps. Okay, that's possible. Like I said, I'll read it one more time.
So you can spend more time doing what you love, killing monsters and getting loot. To that end, we've made a number of changes. We won't get into too much detail, but here's a quick summary of what you can expect to have received adjustment. We've removed cartographer's chisels and map device crafts entirely. The loss of content and loot here has been compensated for in other places.
Cartographer's chisels are gone.
Special global bonuses while socketed on your atlas, including adding the new Originator Voidstone, which enables specific atlas bosses to drop exceptional supports. We'll elaborate more on that in the next section. T17 maps as you know it have effectively been removed. The bosses have been kept around, and they better fulfill their original purpose of being a gateway to target farm uber pinnacle bosses. The most annoying modifiers on Originator maps have been removed or replaced. No more getting turned into a slug for simply using skills, and no more will you be incapable of dealing damage periodically.
That's great.
Petal skills in Originator maps have been removed. However, some of their effects are now available from the altars and memory threads. Memory tears, instead of adding a memory thread to your atlas, will now drop an itemized version of that thread, allowing you to save it for later or trade it at your leisure. We've added new scarabs, such as this Expedition Scarab of Infusion, which can generate some truly tempting logbooks. And for those of you looking to take on the ultimate one-on-one fight, the Anarchy Scarab of the Exceptional will place a true antagonist-level rogue exile threat in your map, empowered by every type of Wildwood Wisp, possessed by a tormented spirit, augmented with rare monster modifiers, and
that's crazy.
By a shrine. This exile is not to be trifled with.
That's crazy.
Alongside
Will he
that,
give
we've also
something good
changed
though?
Such as the Beyond Scarab of Resurgence, which now causes all 3 Beyond bosses to appear when a Beyond boss would spawn in your map. On top of that, we've made improvements to a number of weak Atlas Tree passives, such as Pillage and Plunder, which now grants a chance for items dropped by Syndicate members to have a Fractured Veiled mod. Check out the new The Paths Not Taken keystone, which means your maps on average will drop twice as many divination cards. But which ones can drop will be a mystery. And last but not least, we've also made some changes to King's March shipping.
No!
Such as, we've swapped the rewards given by sending ore and crops. I wonder what this new port will send back. Ports will now give more rewards for favored resources, and you can even re-roll them for gold, if they're not offering what you're after.
Biggest W for King's March. What do you mean? Oh, no, that's not a good thing. 18 farmers were the bomb. You just do 18 farmers and then you get cash. 18 farmers get cash. Who cares about, look, why you call, I'm sorry. I love using it like that because look, now I have to go inside of maps and get ore. I didn't have to do all that. I didn't have to go into maps and do anything. I had a passive currency generation. I could just run maps, do what I wanted to do, and then boom, go back, check my ship, and then I had money. That was it. I'm not happy about that one. I'm not happy about that. Let me go back and look at this again. Hold up. Let me go back just a little bit. I can't take it.
We've also made some changes to King's March shipping, such as we've swapped the rewards given by sending ore and crops.
Swap the rewards from ore and crops. You see, this used to be awesome when you were just nothing but think. Yes.
I wonder what this new port will send back. Ports will now give more rewards for favored resources, and you can even re-roll them for gold if they're not offering what you're after. Specific ports will now reward specific tattoos and rune grafts, making it easier to target the ones you want. Not to mention, the Kalgurans have discovered several new powerful rune grafts for you to get your hands on, such as the Rune Graft of Fury, which causes you to gain rage on using a life flask, and the Rune Graft of Resurgence, which causes arcane surge.
Okay, so bismuth and verism gives quantity. Okay, what does that mean to me? Does it so you're saying I because what they said it sounded like he said that they swapped them. So ore gives you more or gives you currency and stuff, and it looks like farming is going to give you quantity of something or whatever it is. It doesn't look. I don't know. I don't like it.
Also grant life regeneration. We mentioned earlier about the Originator Voidstone enabling access to exceptional supports. So let's get into that, as there's a decent amount to cover.
Yeah, so farming gives gear, which sucks. Let's just be honest, it sucks. And see, now I have to go onto my Atlas tree, look to get those little things that give me ore, make sure I do the little ore things so I could get ore, smelt it, mine it, smelt it, and then put it in things. Yes, I will agree. Now there is a reason. Don't get me wrong. There is a reason to get that to do ore inside of maps. I will not deny that. There is a reason. But I feel that they messed with my play style. They messed with my play style. That's okay though. We gonna accept it.
After defeating the incarnations of Fear, Neglect, and Dread, you will obtain the Originator Voidstone. As mentioned earlier, this Voidstone allows new, exceptional support gems to drop from many bosses across the Atlas. These new supports are an improvement over the old Awakened support system, which is being phased out.
Okay, so Survivor, you're timed out. That's just ridiculous. What you just said. You can run you can still run mappers for passive income. Do you know how much mappers cost? Oh my lord, that's so much money. So much money. You skip them. You just throw them to the side. You just farm and disenchant. That's all you needed. Exactly, it's a chore. Ah, King's March. No, it wasn't. King's March wasn't a chore. You had your farmers, and you just ship things out. You play for a few hours or whatever, 2-3 hours. Then you come back and you pick up all your money, and then you do it again. It's only 5 miners and five smelters. Now you get more currency the more maps you do getting the ore. I know. I just don't want to do ore farming. Such a great change. I won't deny. I won't deny. It does make a difference. It does. I will be honest. It does make a difference. I'm just complaining because I had a play style that worked. So what I mean by it does make a difference, or it does make a difference. Before, I would be like, why stop for ore? Why would I try to get ore? There's no reason. Why would I try to look in the Atlas tree to get more ore on my maps? It's no reason. I agree. This makes it so that that ore in maps and doing the ore, saving the tree, doing all those things, it is a very good thing. You want more ore on your maps because now you can do that and let it get refined, etc., ship it out, make money. Okay. But it feels like now I have to go look on the Atlas tree for those things so that I could do it, because it's not going to be worth it unless you get those things on a regular basis. And when I was running maps, I didn't get them on a regular basis. They popped up every blue moon. Now I gotta actually, if I wanted to make money out of King's March, I gotta do real investment into making King's March work. That's where my problem is. King's March, you didn't have to do a lot of investment before. It was just throw some farmers together, play whatever you wanted to play, and do whatever you wanted to do on the Atlas tree, and you were good. You could just boom, you were good. Right now, from what it looks like, you got to go and change that thought, that mental thought process. You have to invest. Let's just be honest. They made it like the other stuff. So what I mean by they made it like the other stuff, if I wanted to make money out of Breach, you go and you invest in Breach. If I wanted to make money out of Abyss, you invest in Abyss. If I wanted to make money out of Harbingers, you invest in Harbingers. So you would do those things to actually get yourself to make money. You would do those things. So if I wanted Beyond, I do more Beyond. If I wanted Ritual, I do that for Ritual. If I wanted Shrines, you would do that for Shrines. I mean, if I wanted the Essences, you do that for Essences. You invest. King's March, you didn't have to invest. This changes that.
Awakened supports have long been a capstone investment for a character, but there's existed a gulf between the more interesting ones.
You invested gold, but that was something you got passively. You didn't have to worry about it. And see, I never profit craft. So since I didn't profit craft, gold was easy. I just went in and I spent most of my gold just always sending out ships and doing those things. So I never really invested. When I mean invest is, you didn't have to invest for King's March to be profitable. Not on the Atlas tree. In the Atlas tree, you didn't have to invest. Now you have to. Now you have to find those ore nodes and those other things to make King's March profitable. That's what I'm saying is this change is a great change in certain aspects. I don't like it because I had an easy button. It was just like, just do maps, get money, etc. Just I would do maps, just put money inside my thing and just, and I get passive cash. Now I have to do it like all the other aspects that are on the Atlas, where I have to invest into it to make money. Not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm just complaining because I wanted at least another league of me being able to just be passively, okay, oh, I got another divine. Ooh, I got another divine, And that's what I'm saying with that. Hold on for a second. Let's get back to what they're talking about with these exceptional supports.
Which is being phased out. Awakened supports have long been a capstone investment for a character, but there's existed a gulf between the more interesting ones, such as Awakened Spell Cascade, which has some additional transformative effect, as opposed to some of the simpler Awakened supports, which just have slightly higher numerical values. Exceptional supports will all be transformative, serving as an additional late-game tool to customize your build around, and extending character customization and creation even later into a build's life. One of the goals here is to provide interesting build choices even at later levels and deep into the endgame. However, we are certainly not aiming to reduce top-end player power with these changes. Exceptional supports will still be super strong.
I like that one.
If used well, they will catapult your character even further than before. So, how many are there, and what exactly do they do? There are over 40 new exceptional supports to discover, adding additional enticing drops to bosses that may otherwise have felt not as worthwhile to run, giving players extra reason to take on those challenges. For instance, from the King in the Mists, we have the Hex Toad support. This support creates areas of swampy cursed ground, which spawns toads that bounce towards enemies and then explode, dealing chaos damage. From the Uber Elder, we have the Void Storm support, which causes your raining attacks to create celestial storms of energy that grow over time, detonating as you approach for massive damage. Defeating the incarnation of Neglect may win you the Frost Mage support. Similar to the existing Archmage support, you are rewarded for stacking mana to enhance your spells with extraordinary cold damage. We'll tease some more of these before launch, but there will be many, many more for you to discover.
Interesting. Frost Mage. I like that.
Coming back. However, we do know that many players have issues with the walls in Hive encounters. In order to address these concerns, we'll be making a number of changes. One of the biggest problems is that walls would block your projectiles, meaning that when a hive randomly spawned in your map, it would make it harder to clear. In order to prevent that, walls and hive encounters will now be destroyed by any damage. But we also wanted to make sure we reduce the visual clutter they cause. Hives and their walls are now smaller. To allow players to engage with hive encounters quicker when they do want to help Aelith, we've added a new Atlas passive which drastically increases the detonation area of unstable burrows, causing them to reliably chain react and destroy the majority of remaining walls. For those who don't want to deal with the walls at all, there's now a pair of keystones that allow you to block hive encounters or unstable breaches, if you want. Now that this is a core league,
I like
don't
this.
want you to have to grow your Genesis tree from scratch on every league start. So now, each womb gift slot is already usable by default, and access to the Monastery of the Keepers will be gained by finding Aelith starting in Act 6 Mudflats. Now with Atlas Tree and Scarab support, you can have multiple unstable breach encounters active in a single area, for maximum ruckus. Speaking of Atlas Tree and Scarab support, we've added plenty. Here are a few examples. The Massing Forces Atlas notable grants a chance to have additional unstable breaches in your maps. The Breach Scarab of the Marshal guarantees a breach boss or hive fortress, while the Breach Scarab of the Incensed Swarm replaces all of Aelith's skills with Enrage the Hive, increasing the difficulty and reward from hive monsters in all subsequent waves. graft items will no longer exist, but we've moved several of the graft skills to new exceptional supports.
Okay.
Such as the Hiveborn support, which summons an army of breach minions to do your bidding when you use a supported offering skill.
I like that.
The Foul Grasp support, which calls forth a field of grasping breach hands when you recall brands, exploding for heavy lightning damage when enemies approach them. We're looking forward to seeing how these improvements and additions are received, alongside a lot of what Keepers also has to offer. From the new bosses in their bloodline, through to the Genesis tree and its many different crafting options, like Foulborn uniques. Also with its new narrative, we look forward to extrapolating on all of this and learning more about Aelith, the Hiveborn, and its Breach Lords in the future. That covers all the new content we're adding, and that was...
Okay, so I got a question. That support gem, can it be used on like the Queen of Hunger that sits there and it consumes corpses and does an offering? Can I put that in there and then use that to generate those guys that pop up? I'm just wondering.
Was a lot. From a new in-game system, several new reward types, new ways to juice maps, all of which you can double up in the new Mirage League, and all that alongside a suite of new holy skills, a new ascendancy class, and an insane amount of new character customization in the endgame. However, an important part of Path of Exile expansions is making sure there is a continued effort to improve quality of life. So let's get into that now.
I would like to point out that was a lie. That was a lie. Okay, so recently, their mental thought process has changed. Because it was like, oh, quality of life, we don't care about that. We're just going to do the game. And they barely did quality of life things. Recently, though, it's been quality of life, quality of life, quality of life, quality of life. We're doing all the things we can to make this awesome for you guys. Just pointing that out.
Can now favorite trades on the currency exchange. This consists of selecting 2 currencies that you want to be able to trade between with a single click, and setting them as a favorite trade. Favorite trades will appear by default on opening the currency exchange, and will still auto-suggest a ratio based on recent trade data. A further improvement to the currency exchange is the ability to open and interact with your stash while you have the exchange window open. Now, when trading in a full set of divination cards, it will automatically be handed in to become the resultant item. If you then turn in another set immediately, the reward from the previous set will be transferred to your inventory directly.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's enough free space to do so.
That's awesome.
Labyrinth font crafts that previously gave a random transfigured gem now allow you to choose which transfigured gem of that type you'd like to receive.
Even better.
Asynchronous trade item sale history is now hoverable, with full item descriptions of the sold item. When using Divine Orbs, you can now tell exactly which modifiers can be randomized. The ritual icon will now glow if you've got significant unspent tribute in an area and all rituals are complete. And a pop-up will appear after the final ritual completion. Also,
that's awesome.
Ritual, you can now quick use vessels on completed rituals. Have you ever tried to click a divine shrine surrounded by enemies and find it extremely difficult to click? Well, shrines now take priority over monsters when clicking in an area they overlap. Since 3.24, we've been looking to add new ways to improve the campaign experience, and 3.28 is no different. This patch, we've added over 20 landmark rooms throughout the campaign, scattered across all 10 acts. Some of these reward some pretty useful stuff, so keep an eye out for the new and unexpected rooms,
that sucks,
chests, and encounters as you progress throughout Rayclast.
That sucks.
We want most of these to be a surprise, but we'll show you just one. There is now a small central island in the Karui Fortress, all inhabitants of which will drop a basic tattoo when slain. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today, we're launching 2 new series of support.
Okay, so I want to point out the reason why I say this sucks, and it's not because it really does suck, it's because of I think I had this conversation with Are We Dead Yet at one time, where I was sitting there, I was saying, well, you know, he was asking me about, I said, you didn't check this new content. You didn't check this new content. And he was like, what new content? And I was like, well, this is, you know, this, and this. And I showed him a couple of things that he has never seen before. And it's because he runs through the campaign. Everybody runs through the campaign and you never see those areas. They added in so many new areas that I'm gonna my leveling is gonna be slow because I'm gonna have to go through every individual zone trying to find those new areas and those new bosses. Just pointing that out.
Supporter packs. The Curator of Wisdom and Iron Incarcerator packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Curator of Wisdom series of support.
But they see, this is Survivor. They're awesome to see at least once. That's the thing. You gotta at least try to find them once. Because it's new, it's awesome, it looks cool. You'll see them on Reddit. You're terrible.
Contains 7 exclusive microtransactions. The Traveling Wisdom back attachment has all the necessary tools you may require to chronicle your journey, complete with a helpful rat friend. These chronicles will activate their magic upon identifying items, and will track the number of items identified of each rarity.
Ooh.
Just hover the item, or link it in chat to show it off. The Acquired Wisdom unique finisher effect summons an ancient scroll that consumes unique enemies and the knowledge they hold. Most exiles would struggle carrying piles of scrolls while traveling Rayclast, but the Grand Curator of Wisdom armor set is perfect for the adventurous scholar. Any expert curator knows that scrolls hold more than just knowledge. They also hold power. As you cast spells, the scrolls attached to the armor will burn away, before rematerializing shortly after. It also features a series of helmet variations, so you can get precisely the look you're after. Summon your Scroll Shaper familiar pet to follow alongside you. This creature is formed from folded magical texts, and can shapeshift between different forms. You can think of this as having multiple pets in one. It can fold into a fox, and then even burn away, reforming into a flying bird. This series of packs also contains the Scroll Portals, jumbo-sized versions of the Scroll of Wisdom and Portal Scroll that you can make a quick retreat through.
Portals, you know I love them.
Of knowledge can't remain in one place for too long and risk being pillaged by thieves. The Titan Apex Hideout features a colossal titan who carries your base of operations atop their shoulders, constantly moving through a boundless desert. The Iron Incarcerator pack also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
I like that.
The Incarcerator's Restraints back attachment features stockades that were used to immobilize prisoners by binding them to the earth as they were tortured for their wrongdoings. Shackles envelop your choice of torturing device when using the Chains of the Incarcerator weapon effect. These chains shatter into links as you batter enemies. Make your way through Rayclast as a walking penitentiary, intimidating your enemies with the elite Iron Incarcerator armor set. After a long day of tracking down criminals, step into the Iron Maiden portal to retreat to your torture chamber.
Iron Maiden
It
portal
acts as a great deterrent for would-be intruders. This peculiar creature was a favorite amongst incarcerators. They would be sent into the midst of prison riots to mesmerize and control the toughest of minds. Use their talents to charm other players' pets, causing them to abandon their owners and follow in line behind you instead, at least until it wears off. What better way to execute prisoners when your torturing has depleted their value? Harvest their souls to fuel this map device, condemning them to eternal incarceration.
Oh, that's
Clues
actually
within the
pretty
map
cool.
are also recorded based on the rarity of the monster. You can choose to pin an execution session that you're also recorded based on the.
I want to point out something. This lightning, the Shock Nova configuration that they are doing, they are really pushing that one. Somebody at the GGG side likes this configuration, loves the Shock Nova. He's just enjoying it too much. I'm telling you.
Rarity of the monster. You can choose to pin an execution session that you're satisfied with on this miniature leaderboard, which is displayed for all that dare enter your hideout. Additionally, all microtransactions from these supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 2. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
I like that. I like it. I actually do.
20 seconds.
Oh, stop that. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Holy Strike starting support gem for the Templar is now hollow support. Okay, so we're changing powers, people. We're changing powers. I'm a Templar player. So this is. Remember they were talking about powers and stuff like that on this one, right? So let's see here. Let's jump to Holy Skill.
So that's the Mirage League. Now, to face all the new evils, you might want some righteous skills.
So they changing what we start off with. Holy
In
Skill.
328, you'll have access to a slew of new options to bring divine devastation and return the faithful.
Let's look at these very carefully because this is what I'm going to be starting off with.
To go with them, as well as some new transfigured gems. Let's go over a few examples. With Holy Hammers, you slam the ground to call down a hammer of justice from the sky.
That's not what we're going to be starting with.
An additional Holy Hammer will cascade forwards, which itself can further cascade, and so forth. Expending a power charge when using the skill will call down an additional 2 hammers, which can also cause cascading slams. The more numerous your foes, the more instruments of holy judgment. Sweep is an old skill. In fact, it is so old that it's one of the very first skills ever implemented in Path of Exile, over 15 years ago. It's been long overdue for some
That's not a holy skill, but...
With 328, it has been reworked into Holy Sweep. This skill converts some of your physical damage to lightning, with shiny new effects to match.
Holy Sweep, that's what it
Some enemies
was.
struck by the initial sweep will have hammers of light batter them from above. These hammers cause area damage where they land, so clustered enemies are demolished by repeated impacts. When successfully hitting an enemy with Holy Strike, you'll summon forth a floating holy armament, a glowing mace that follows you closely. These weapons are minions, and will attack with Holy Strike themselves whenever you do.
Okay, so we get Holy Strike. Okay, so that's going to be one of the things we're going to get. Holy Strike gives us an extra floating weapon minion automatically from the start of the game.
These holy armaments will copy the stats of your main hand weapon to deal their damage. Stand against your foes with Shield of Light, a retaliation skill which will allow you to unleash a cone of holy light upon enemies after blocking a hit with your shield. Additional cones of light will also pour forth from your nearby allies when you hit with the skill, allowing you to recruit your holy army to create purging light. Divine Blast emits a beam of holy light from your shield, coalescing into a hovering ball of energy. A few moments later, this unstable orb bursts, exploding outward with divine power. Hallow supports melee attacks, causing them to inflict a new debuff, Hallowing Flame. Hallowing Flame builds up as charges on enemies, getting consumed when attacked. Consuming a stack of Hallowing Flame gives the attack that consumed it a significant amount of extra fire damage, but only those who did not inflict the Hallowing Flame are able to consume it.
Okay, so that tells us that was what I was looking for, because I didn't understand what that one was. So Hallow support, which is what we're gonna get. So as soon as we start the game, we're gonna get Holy Strike. So when we hit something, another weapon's gonna pop up. Okay, so we're gonna have up to 3. It looks like. Hopefully that's 3 at the start, and it will always be 3. And that would be really nice if it was. We're also gonna get Hallow support, which is when we strike, we're gonna get Hallow Flame on something, and then when that ain't gonna work. That won't work unless we get the Okay, so this is where we got problems. I don't know if they so Hallow support is useless until we get our zombies. And the reason why I bring this up is if I have Holy Strike and I'm supporting it with Hallow support, when I attack, it's gonna do Hallow support. When my minion pops up, it is going to be supported by Hallow support. So unless it is tracking every individual Hallow Flame independently, then it's useless at the beginning of the game, because it's useless at the very beach. It's useless at the beach is what I'm saying. Because I'm supporting Hallow. You can't do anything with it. How is it? Because it doesn't work unless Hallow support does not support minions. Interesting situation. Hold up. Let me turn this back on because we're now looking at some patch notes stuff and things that we want to. This is good. That is great. Lightning tendrils blight now channel towards the enemy or further away when the totem or by the totems. So in other words, you remember you used to have a situation where they had to get in real close, and they were just so close. You had an example would be, this is how much space the channel would hit. The creature would be here where my thumb is before the totem channeled. So now what happens is it'll hit them on their whole way in versus they're almost on top of the totem before it channels. This is the last. Oh, beautiful. Look at this, guys. Holy Slam. Skills used by Herald of Purity minions and Dominating Blow minions now have a 32% increased area of effect. That means they got larger hit slams. Those are great. That's great. Absolution and Absolution of Inspiring now have a base debuff duration of 3 seconds. Oh, that's beautiful. And a base menu duration of 15 seconds. Yes! Sentinels of Absolution now have 44% more area of effect with their empowered lightning blast skill and now have 40% more damage. Absolution has just... Oh, we're going Absolution, baby. Animated Guardian of Smiting now has minion deals 0 to 76 more damage. The smite attack now has an impact radius of 2. Ooh, even better for chains of command. Oh, they love me. They love me. They love me, guys. This is Templar heaven. What's up, Shadow? What's up? You're back this coming league? All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, they made my day. They made my day. Templars are back. Well, so sometime next week, most likely, I'll be doing builds. I'm playing a Templar. I'm playing a Templar. Off the bat, Templar. There's no other reason. There's nothing else other than Templar. Templar is the one you should play. They added in holy skills. They've increased the area of effect damage for your dominating blow and your Herald of Purity. Absolution they made crazy. The debuff is 3 seconds. So I don't have to constantly cast to make sure that my Sentinel will pop off. Look for Radiance. Hold up a second. Oh. The Guardian Sentinels for Radiance, Radiance minion no longer has duration. It's a permanent minion and has approximately 36 more movement speed. Note the Sentinel still doesn't persist between areas. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, this is crazy for me. This is crazy. Let me go to Dominating Blow. Let me see all the Dominating Blow modifications. This is a chance to summon a normal Sentinel on hitting a unique monster now also applies when hitting rare monsters. Debuff duration is 3 seconds and Sentinel duration is now 30 seconds. That's actually, oh. They try to make me happy. Oh my gosh. Oh, Holy Flame Totem now fires 3 to 6 projectiles at gem levels 1 to 20. Previously 3 at all levels. That's actually much better. Now has an AoE tag. That's interesting. Holy Flame Totem of Ire now did 20% more damage at all levels. Hey, that's actually pretty good. What's the problem with the spawn rate? For Dominating Blow? You don't like the spawn rate? That's true. You're going to get more normals than you're going to get the enhanced ones. But when you have Vol and you're doing the Vol dominating blow, you don't really need it. Let's just be honest. If you're using Vol dominating blow, that doesn't matter. It matters on everything else until you get the Vol. When you get Vol, it's the same with Absolution. Same with Absolution. When you got problems with uptime, well, that's the thing. Uptime is increased. Sentinel duration is now 30 seconds instead of 20. And then you add in the from the tree duration increases for your minions. And if you're and also if you're a witch, you even have higher. Makes it yes, I'm talking about maybe using a witch, but I'm going to use Templar because that's just the way I am. Who plays dominating blow on witch? That's true. That's true. That's true. So hold up. Let's look at Penance Brand. This has been a solid power for the longest. Penance Brand has been solid. Purity Flame. There we go. No longer gain a hidden more elemental damage bonus when converting their physical damage to elemental. They also now scale up their monster level more at levels at 20 past 20 is now equal to, okay, got it. Let me look at Storm Brand. Give me a second. It's one I want more. I want mine buff. No one plays anymore. Sad. Yeah, Storm Brand hasn't been played in a long time. Let me get this. Hold up. Now deals 3 to 10 lightning damage at level 1. Okay, so they gave it what, 2 points, and they almost doubled it. Lightning damage at level 20. Stormbrand effectiveness of added damage is now 45 to 55 at gem levels 1 through 20. Previously 30% at all levels. That's much better. Stormbrand now deals 80% more damage with hits against branded enemies at all levels. Okay. This might make an interesting thing with that new support where if you brand recall, you got hands that those hands that are popping out, and you know the hands that they had. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of flat damage. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it might be worth it, and especially like when you got those hands and you recall. And those hands are out there, and they're doing flat damage boosts as well. I mean, it might be worth it. I mean, I can't say for sure, but that does look like it could be. It could bring it to a point where more people would play it. Thoughts on the new skill? Hold for a second. You don't like the numbers on the new skills? I haven't seen the new skills yet. Okay, so let me go through the Guardian, because this is the one. This is all I care about. I care about this one. So The Sentinel of Radiance minion no longer has a duration. We already know about that. This is actually really good. Effects that grant random shrine buffs such as Guardian's Harmony of Purpose, Notable, or the Golden Charlatan Unique Sword instead now grants greater shocking, freezing, and a skeletal shrine instead of the regular versions of these shrines. The time needed notable for has every 4 seconds remove curses and ailments. Previously removed curses and ailments. Okay, got it. The Guardian now has additional 2 martial divinity. This notable grants inflicting hollow flame on melee hit. You can inflict +1 hollow flame on enemies. Gain 10% physical damage as lightning damage for each of your hollow flames that have been removed by an ally up to 80%. That's interesting, and I like it. I like it. Alright, it's good. Let's go over here and look at this real quick. Where's the new skills? Artifacts. There we go. You said you don't like the damage outputs of these? That's 220% of base. That's Holy Hammers. You want to do Divine Blast. That's this one. Okay. Plus 0.1% to the offhand critical strike chance per maximum energy shield on the shield. Base of offhand physical damage. Okay, so Shield Crush has better numbers. But that's better numbers, but did you is that also counting in the explosion deals 100% more damage with hits and ailments? I don't know. I haven't looked at the Shield Crush numbers. Cuz that's a big thing right there. The scaling. Okay, got it. I understand on that. So the scaling might be the 3 to 5 physical damage per 15% of armor on the shield. So Shield Crush does have way higher numbers on that, but what's the Shield Crush? Hold up. But yeah, so but that 100% extra damage might make up for it. Yeah, 8 to 12 is better, Don't get me wrong, 8 to 12 is better, but you got to think about this one being really, when you look at that, this one, you're really looking at 6 to 10. Nah, I think it would. I think it would work with the bosses. I think it would. The explosion would work with bosses. Now, I will say, I do see the differences between Shield Crush and this. And this is, yes, this is the problem. 2 hit, yeah. So one is your initial hit, a ball comes out, and then it energizes and blows up. Okay? So that's one problem I see. That's one of the biggest problems I see, is that it goes out, 1.5 seconds later it blows up. Okay? So no matter how many times you get to do your attacks, etc., it's gonna be a second and a half later before the explosion. So it would work. But this is just straight every time you attack, you're going to get damage. The attack speed is a lot slower versus that. So does that make up the difference though? Because it's only 0.2. It's a 0.2 attack difference. Well, the base 2, 100% versus... that might make the difference as well. I didn't think about that. It might be just as effective, is what I'm thinking. It might be just as effective. Now me, I don't want this one. I don't want this one. I don't want that one. I want Holy Strike. I want Holy Strike, because Holy Strike is going to be the one I want. Holy Strike is the new power that you get as a Templar at the start. It was right here.
So clustered enemies are demolished by repeated impacts. When successfully hitting an enemy with Holy Strike, you'll summon forth a floating holy armament, a glowing mace that follows you closely. These weapons are minions, and will attack with Holy Strike themselves whenever you do.
So, every time you hit, you generate one of these. You generate a mace minion. Nope, it's different than sweep. It's different than sweep. Sweep, holy sweep, you sweep the target, right? And it damages, and then a hammer drops down from the sky doing AoE damage. Different. That's different. This is 3 minions that circle you while you're running around. And when you hit somebody, they all hit as well. So let me show you real quick. We'll look at this again. So watch.
Hitting an enemy with Holy Strike. Your summoned form.
See? You see how they, when I swing with Holy, when he swung with a Holy Strike, the three maces swung it as well? Yeah, we don't have the numbers, which is my problem. That's my problem. Because those, is it going to be a straight minion? Or is it going to be based off the gem? That's where my question comes in. Now, it might be, okay, so this is going to be something based off my weapon. Let's just be honest. It's going to be based off my weapon. But Holy Strike is going to be based off the weapon. So when I swing my weapon, it's going to do some damage that's probably going to be calculated off the damage from the weapon. Physical damage increase, etc. on my weapon will probably increase that. But the minions, because it's going to make a minion, does that minion now base its damage off my weapon, or does it base its damage off of something else? And then if I increase minion damage, does it increase the damage that the Holy Strike is, that the minion from Holy Strike is going to do, or not? I don't know. And that's where because if it's a 35% less damage, I can clear that in the first couple of levels. I mean, let's just go ahead and so that's my question is on that, is those type of things. Because when you sit there and you talk about, let's just go ahead and jump to the Templar side. This is an old one, don't worry about it. But when we go here, if I go here, 15% increase, 10, 20, 30. I just made it equal to me in that much time, or equal to what I had in that much time, because it's going to be 30% increase. So that now it's even to me with what I'm going to be doing. It doesn't look that good. Yeah, I'm still trying to determine that. That's where I got problems. I got problems on that one. %, less damage. And if I do 30% in multiplier, yeah, you're right, because it gets calculated in a separate spot. It gets calculated on the far end, not the beginning. Ah, that's right, 35%. Yeah. If it had 35% less damage, yep. That is, if it has a 35% less damage. I don't know. They didn't put it here. They should have put it here. Hey, look, this is what's messed up. They show you Divine Blast. They show you a Holy Hammer. And that's strike. That's strike. That is not sweet. Divine Blast does look good. So, just an FYI on what I've been thinking. I know it sounds stupid, but just numbers are looking sad. This one could be awesome. This could be awesome. Okay, I can see that. Yes, I can see that. But the first hammer in each cascade deals 100% more damage. Holy hammers cascade up to 2 times. Calling down 2 additional holy hammers when expending a power charge. Well, you're gonna slam anyway, so that's the thing. It's a slam. It's a slam. And kind of clunky. I can see where you could get around that clunk. If you, and I'm just saying, you can get around that clunk. If you run, let's just say you run, instead of run a guardian, you're not gonna run guardian, you're gonna run something like, let me show you. What I would do is I'd run an Inquisitor. It's a slam with 85% attack speed base. 85% attack speed base. That's true. So ground slam is 90% of the of base. Earthquake is 75% of base. It's only 10%. Not that bad. But what it does is not, that ain't that bad. But what I'm thinking is, if you do Inquisitor, you get your and you get that. Gain a power charge for each enemy you hit with a critical strike. You run the Inquisitor. You run the Inquisitor so you can get good crits. You run this, and then also you're going to be burned. Also, when you're the Inquisitor, you can also do this. Consecrated ground, you create applies 15% increased attack damage to each enemies. You have consecrated ground around you while you're stationary. Yes, it expands with power charges, but that's what I'm saying. You run the Inquisitor, you do the ball. Every time you crit, you're going to automatically get power charges. Anytime you hit an enemy and you crit, you get a power charge with the Vol Protector. As an Inquisitor, you get the increased elemental damage, and nearby enemies deal less elemental damage. Yes, that's true. League start, it might be a problem. It might be a problem. Well, we don't know. We don't know. That is a key. We don't know for sure. And the reason why, let me show what they said in the video. If we look at the video, they were talking about the uniques. Balance adjustments. Is it here?
Off the patch notes. As always, we love to shake up the meta. So we've done a bunch of balance adjustments to a few other things as well, such as a pass on bloodline classes, expanded the passives available to...
They added some stuff and made changes on the Templar side. Yeah, you could do that. That's actually a good one. would do endurance charge stacking and use the belt to convert endurance charges to power charges. That works. You don't see new nodes? I thought this was new. And I thought this one was new. Or am I blind or something? Did I? Yeah, so they added a new node piece here. And they added a new node piece here. This is the same. They might have changed what it does, but they added a new node circle here and a new node circle here. From the video, that's what they did. New node circle and a new node circle. This they just kind of probably modified. So the question is, let's just look at something real quick. I'm looking for something real quick. Hold up. What is that symbol? That's an accuracy symbol. So they modified, they gave us something with accuracy right here. And something with accuracy right here. I don't know what other things they might have added to it, but it looks like those are accuracy type nodes. Because this symbol I think is the accuracy node. That's what I was just checking for. See, like this is accuracy, and it got global accuracy, crit, etc., etc. My question is, what does it give? Is this accuracy, increased accuracy damage, stacking? I don't know. And then what is this one? And then same over here. What are these nodes dealing with accuracy and this and that? So there is possibilities that they have enhanced to make it a little bit better all for us in there. That's just my thought process on it. I'm not 100% sure, but either way it goes, Mirage, see, I want Mirage so bad. Oh my gosh, that could be so crazy. Mirage Strike, Ancestral Call. Mirage Strike, Ancestral Call, Hallowed Support. And then you have your zombies and your Herald of Purity running through the beginning of the game. Or you start off and you start off with something else and then just run Absolution to the end of the game. Absolution is probably going to be the better route, especially with the changes on the buffing and the debuff and the doggone length of your Absolution Sentinel. That is crazy. That's just crazy. Most likely it's going to be an Absolution start. Let's be honest. I might do Holy Strike just because I want to play with the new skill. But if you're really trying to just blow through the campaign, Absolution is going to be the start. Absolution, dude, is crazy right now. This league. Are we did yet? That's crazy. This league. Have you even looked at what they did to Absolution? Let me just explain what they did to Absolution. I'm going skill less after lab 1 to yellow maps. I'll decide what I'm doing in red maps. Absolution and Absolution of Inspiring. The debuff is not 1 second, it's 3 seconds now. So if a mob dies within 3 seconds of getting hit by Absolution, it has a chance to generate a sentinel. That is huge. Instead of constantly having to cast, it will generate one. Second awesome thing. The Sentinels of Absolution now have a 44% increased area of effective damage. And they just deal 40% more damage. And the base minion duration is 15 seconds, not 10. Guardian is so broken, it's 10 times better than Absolution. What do you mean Guardian is so broken? You run right now, if you run this with the Sentinel of Radiance, it's a permanent minion now. You cast it every time you come into a zone, and you Absolution your way through the whole entire thing. That's what I'm saying. Absolution is going to be crazy. Concentrated path. I think they did. They made modifications. I don't know if it's what they did. Hold up. Let's look at that. Concentrated path now has 273 to 468 effectiveness of base and attack damage. So they gave it a little bit of a boost. And they gave it a boost. They gave it a boost for the more damage with hits to closer targets. Guardian Absolution. That's what I'm. Hardcore solo stuff. No, not happening. I'm gonna play Absolution for sure, but hardcore solo self-found, nah. I'm gonna stay with the softcore, sir. I'm staying with the softcore. Sorry to say, I can't do the hardcore. If I do hardcore, I'll probably quit, and then I won't be playing for a couple of months because my heart is broken. I'm still not recovered from the last PoE 2 playthrough. I'm still not recovered from the original playthrough or my last playthrough of PoE 2. My heart still hurts. But as it stands, most likely I'm gonna be doing Templar. I'm gonna adjust this Absolution from 3.2.7 to 3.2.8. And I'm gonna run that. I'm probably gonna adjust my dominating blow. And I'm most likely gonna change the dominating blow to Holy Strike. You'll quit no matter what. Might as well have some fun since Ziz isn't doing gauntlets in these unbalanced Garbo leagues. Well, I don't know about that. He said he made the other day he was sitting there and he was going through patch notes and he was like, oh, this is gonna be great for gauntlet. And I was like, are you gonna do a gauntlet? When he said that, I was like, oh. I don't know, man. He might do one. He might do one. I was okay. So last night I needed to get my my 45 minutes so I could get my true. But I think the reason why is because gauntlets aren't fun. Gauntlets weren't fun. You know, so it wasn't fun the last gauntlet and stuff like that, right? So I think he's, but the way he sounded, okay, so I got online last night, I think it was. I got online and logged in to try to get my little effect, my little effect. Because I missed the live stream because I had to work, okay? So I didn't really have to work. I kind of didn't, I had stuff to do in the morning, and then after I got home, I actually worked when I was supposed to be on vacation because I needed to get some stuff done for the job. So when I logged in, I was listening to what Ziz was saying in his stream, and he was going through the patch notes. And while he was going through the patch notes, one of the things that he had said was, "Oh, that'll be great for the gauntlet. This is awesome. That's gonna be, you know." And I was like, "Oh," he said gauntlet. Does that mean he's gonna do one this league? It's a possibility. If he's excited about something about gauntlet being good for the gauntlet, I thought that was awesome. The biggest news wasn't league related. What do you mean? The map changes? Or you want to talk about what are you talking about? What do you think the biggest news was? The Vision is moving to PoE doo-doo full-time, so he won't keep ruining PoE 1. I didn't hear. Oh, was that in the Q&A? Octavian is taking over PoE 1? I remember him saying something. So they were talking about Q&A and some other things that was going to be happening. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, but I didn't realize that that's what they were talking about. Hey, I'm not gonna deny, every time I play PoE 2, my heart breaks. I look, the last time I played PoE 2, I forced myself to try to continue to play, and I almost cried. Yeah, it broke me. It broke me. Yeah, I'll have to look at the Ziggy D thing. I'll have to look at the Ziggy D thing. Cause I didn't see it. I didn't see it. By the time I logged in, Ziz was just looking at the patch notes, so the Ziggy D quick Q&A thing was already done, and I haven't looked at the Ziggy D Q&A thing tonight. So he wasn't there on it. That's funny. That's actually a pretty good thing. Well, let's just be honest. The key question is, all right, what's gonna happen? Okay, so with him moving away, you're like, it's great that this happened, but I don't know about that. So with him moving to PoE 2, does all the money and development and support go with him? And PoE 1 is now going to be on its last legs? And I'm not saying that they, you know, that they're trying to set Octavian up for failure. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that Octavian isn't a good that won't be able to give good vision on how things should go and where and everything like that. He's an actual player. You know what I mean on that. My question is, with him moving, with JR moving to PoE 2, will that affect how much support PoE 1 will get from moving forward? Because JR got, let's just be honest, JR got more clout inside the company. He's got more clout inside the company. So is the money going to disappear? What? I understand Octavian is not going to be worse. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, okay, example would be the following. I have to, yeah, they make the financial decisions, but let's just be honest, PoE 2 is massive amount of people are still playing PoE 2. I don't like it. I don't play it, but there are people that are playing it. If you pull the numbers, there's a lot of people on that game. And so since there's a lot of people on that game and a lot of people still playing that game and everything like that, JR's vision is kind of working. So my problem is, because JR is going over to PoE 2, and he's like, I got to dedicate my time over here to really make this game successful. It has got the most people. It's gonna be the new cash cow moving forward, right? Does that mean if they got 10 developers, JR says, I need to dedicate over here, does that mean he's going to take 5 and leave 5 for PoE 1? Or is he going to take 8 of them and leave 2 for PoE 1? Because he's got the biggest clout. True, but it's not, that's the problem, is it's not flopping. That's the issue. Hold up a second. I'm looking for something. Its retention is terrible. 3 weeks and did 0.4. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Trust me, I do understand that statement. I do understand that statement. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna deny that. I was just saying because of the it's unfinished and staying that way. I'm just saying that until recently, i.e. this week, I think, it has been it's uninstalled and staying that way. Understandable. I understand. I understand. I'm just saying, that's all I was saying was when you were looking at between the two games, it still had the most. FOMO? What's FOMO? What does FOMO mean? I don't know what it means. Fear of missing out. All right, you're right. Fear of missing out is gonna be the one. It's gonna be the one. Here are we did yet? Oh, sorry, wrong one. Hit the wrong button. There you go. I opened the dungeon. I want to know if you fear missing out on joining the dungeon. See, you did. Hey, FOMO worked with you right there. Join the dungeon. But either way it goes, I'm thinking it's gonna be a Guardian start. Absolution Guardian. I am so pushing Absolution right now. With the modifications and the changes that they did, Absolution all the way. Now, what does that mean for me? It means I'm gonna have to get back into PoE 1 for at least half a week, so I can learn how to play PoE 1 again with an Absolution character from the start. Unarmed, only convocation, Guardian to red maps. All right, I gotta see this. I gotta see this one. Can we go back to us? Woo! I think we got a good chance going forward. So just FYI, tomorrow I'm gonna stream tomorrow morning. I might have to get off early tomorrow morning due to the fact that I have to take my wife in for medical stuff. So I'll be taking her in for some medical stuff, get that taken care of. I probably am gonna play PoE 1 tomorrow just to get my feet up under me because it's been a while. It has been a while. I haven't messed around with PoE 1 in a long time. So I gotta get my feet up under me and play a little PoE 1. Gotta check out my Absolution configuration, make sure it still works. One good thing is with Absolution and some of the other things, you don't have to worry about accuracy with your minions anymore. That is a great thing. So there was a lot of changes that made really good strides for minion builds. And then they just did this massive sweep making minion builds, or sorry, making Templars, Guardian Templars, even better. And so these changes are going, I'm going to have to, yeah, it's a FOMO moment for me. Gotta do Absolution. Gotta run it all the way through. And I'm gonna have to run Absolution into the mapping and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do in game with it because Mal the MetaMaster. Oh please. I've always loved Absolution. Do not even try that. Look, even on the screen, look at this. Absolute. There's only been one league I didn't do an Absolution build. Absolution 3.27, Absolution 3.25, Absolution 3.24. There should be an Absolution in 3.23, and then Absolution in 3.22. Absolution is my jam. I play it. I love it. It's the best power ever. Ever. Meta, no. I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly. I disagree. And the reason why I wholeheartedly disagree with that statement, sir, is the following. If you look at the rankings for Absolution by everybody out there that plays minion builds, they tell you that Absolution is not that great. It's like a C rank or something like that. Hold up a second. Let me see if I can find Azzy TV minion minion tier list. There you go. So this was 8 months ago. This is 8 months ago.
Hey guys, Gassy TV here with another Path of Exile video. We're going to talk about Path of Exile 1.
So he's going through his S tiers.
5, 6 divs, low budget time. But it is.
Do you see Absolution at all? His A tiers.
Shaken up. The only press, it suffers from the whole point. From the regular poison issues, and again we have played this build. They all perform very well. Body armor called Perfidy in here to get the improvements to it as a result.
His B tier.
Ranged enemy weapons on the north side of the skill tree with a back row, and because
his C tier. Look at that. He doesn't know as much as he used to. I'm just telling you, he's not the only one that puts Absolution in a low spot. And he's kind of right in certain aspects, okay? Absolution is great. Moving through the campaign, getting through the campaign, getting in the maps. Going through maps, you're great. All the way up to around about T15, T16, you can do Absolution. You don't need any specials. End game, you have to go Doriana's prototype. You have to drop your resistances all the way to the bottom. Doriana's prototype. That's the only real way you get through the in-game bosses on a regular basis really well. If you don't do that, you're not going to get through it very well. But then you also have a problem. He does state it, and he is kind of right, which is there are other meta builds that use Doriana's prototype that will do blast more damage and outperforms Absolution. That's just the way it is. That's like taking Penance Brand, doing Doriana's with a Penance Brand configuration or Doriana's with some other configuration. It does way more damage than Absolution does. But let's just be honest. I don't like using Doriana's on my Absolution build. I'll get all the way up to where I can get through the first bosses. After that, I'm done. My Doriana, my Absolution build is complete. Cause I hate Doriana's prototype. Cause Doriana's prototype pretty much makes me makes my character just fall over and die. You start fighting essences, the big old white ring comes out and he's running around. He runs you over and next thing you know, your health goes whoop and you die because it's a lightning DOT and you get burnt down just like that. I don't like Doriana's because of that. But I love the play style of Absolution all the way into the end game. After you get to the end game, when you go to the higher level stuff, pinnacle bosses, Ubers, things like that, might as well go ahead and cut it out. And that's just one of the guys out there. Let's see here. Let's go over here. 3.27 minion tier list. There's another person who did one. Everybody was pretty much calling out. Nobody has Absolution. Either way it goes, minions suck a little bit when it comes to that. All right, man, I'm about to get off here myself because I might have to go upstairs, check on my wife and everything like that. Make sure she's going to be ready for tomorrow. Because when we got to go, we got to get there so she can get her stuff done. But I will be back on doing my normal thing, trying to make sure that everybody understands Absolution is not meta, and I love it. Versus Permacore game. Permacore game. What's Permacore's game? I don't even know what that is. Hold on for a second. Let me. Permacore game. Core Keeper. That makes you want to play it? Oh, the things that make me want to play it is the Mirage. They make The Mirage makes me want to play it. So these were introduced. I like that. I like this, where you can sit there, you could choose the different things. Like I want Soul Eater automatically when I go into the Mirages. The damage increasing, the overall damage increase while doing the Mirages is like, that's actually pretty cool to me. Also, it looks like it got a little storyline like they did with the Keepers. It looks like it got a little storyline that it might be actually pretty cool. Keepers of the Flame had a little storyline, and I liked it. I want to see if they expanded the storyline or what they were doing. That's pretty much what I would say. All right, guys, I'm gonna catch y'all later, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And I hope this has helped you in your quest for ultimate power. Catch y'all later. That's all it is. Sag in game is across all. Yeah, the end game is across all, but the Mirage makes me want to do things. There's some things in the Mirage, some story things I want to deal with. I mean, like I said, that's what makes me want to play. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.